Gli uomini che emergono da questa serie come sono? Gli uomini di questa serie di Marshall vi sembrano un po' debosciati, manipolatori manipolati, cioè diciamo che tutto sommato la popolazione maschile in questa serie è molto nel background.
Yeah, they're used and abused, I don't care.
Do you think, I mean, I feel like they're all also different, right? I feel like some of them are weaker than others, some of them are more used and abused than others, but I feel like, I mean, you'll see for my character, maybe it's a little different, I don't know.
You're gonna use it like
So they're all used and abused.
Altre domande?
Allora, mi chiedevo appunto, visto che se ne parlava proprio adesso, in che modo la comunità latinoamericana ha accolto la serie negli Stati Uniti? Cioè, se è piaciuta, non è piaciuta, si sono riconosciuti, cioè che tipo di accoglienza?
It's been interesting. At the beginning, like I said, we had a backlash that was really devastating, you know, for us as actresses, because we were so proud and so excited that for the first time we have 5 Latinas not in the background, not just cleaning, you know, and just having one line. It was, we felt like such a force, and then the first reaction was, but why does it have to be maids? And it was a little negative.
It came from the Latin community.
Yeah, and I was like, oh my God, there's no way that this is happening. It's like, we actually think that we are doing something fantastic. And it was sad, you know, like we all had, like Judy and Anna said, we knew it was coming. We had the same reaction when we read it, when we said, Devious Maids, why do we have to be maids? I never felt like that. I was always like, it's Mark Cherry, I think it's gonna be funny, I don't have a problem with it, you know, it's a laugh. I didn't take it that seriously. So at the beginning it was really sad. And then we did have people that they were writing blogs and things before even watching the pilot. And my whole fight was, just watch it first, guys. You know, we can't have an educated conversation about anything if you're just talking shit without knowing, without
Yeah, it was just a lot of assumptions.
Exactly. And then once they saw it, and then they saw episode 2 and 3, they realized, oh, okay, it's just good fun. It's fun, and these are very strong. We're not playing the weak subordinada, you know, lady. You know, we're forces of nature. You know, these women are amazing. And then, like she said, we had one reporter. She's a writer. She wrote a book called Dirty Girls Social Club that I love. Wonderful Latino writer, and she was the one that was very vocal about this is unacceptable, and it's like taking 20 steps back, and why? And a couple of weeks ago, she tweeted Eva and pretty much apologized and said, you won the war. I was wrong. You know, you're incredible, and it was such an, I don't want to say vindication because that's like a negative word, but it felt good when you're like, oh, you say, it's like, just give it a chance. And listen, if by episode 6 you still know your cup of tea and you still think that it was a disservice, at least, yeah, you're entitled to your opinion and you gave it a chance, you know. But for the most part, the people that have seen 3, 4, 5 episodes, sorry, they understand the tone and they actually appreciate what we're doing, and they realize it's not about being a maid. This is much bigger than that.
Ultima domanda?
Salve, Gabriele Russo. Una domanda in merito alle location della serie. Se non sbaglio,
testata?
ed è subito serial.it. E in merito alle location, se non sbaglio, il set televisivo è lo stesso della Wisteria Lane di Desperate Housewives. Ho riconosciuto, non so, c'erano alcuni viali molto simili a quelli delle abitazioni delle casalinghe, no?
Maybe they're like stock, like footage when they show, if they show like the street or something. Maybe it's like footage that it's like in general for streets, but Wisteria Lane is completely different. We are supposed to be in Beverly Hills, California, and we shot the pilot in Los Angeles. Some sections, you know, Beverly Hills and Pasadena, some mansions. But then we went to film in Atlanta, Georgia. and the sets were recreated. So the houses where we filmed were pretty much recreated so that we could continue to, match everything.
But it's not Beverly Hills. We're shooting in Atlanta, Georgia, and we're hoping that we get very, very, very huge, so we can tell the studio we want to go back to LA. We want to go back to Beverly Hills. So
for now we're faking it.
We're now faking it. We're faking it really well.
Diciamo che è la penultima, l'ultima.
Buongiorno, sono Simona Caporilli del Tempo. Se ci potete raccontare qualche chicca dal set, una curiosità, un episodio magari divertente che vi è capitato lavorando tutte insieme.
Well, you might just find women together talking in Spanglish. It's interesting because in California it's very common that everybody speaks Spanish because the Latino community, the Mexican community is huge. In Atlanta, Georgia, there's not a lot of Spanish-speaking people, and the crew is all American. They only speak English, and it's 5 Latinas speaking like English and Spanish, and they're all like sitting there going, "What are you guys saying?"
And then we are so loud. And the first time actually that we got together, we had a meeting was Mark Jerry there? Paul McGuigan.
Yeah.
So the director, and we're talking and he's from Scotland, and he's like, is this normal? Is this always like this? Because this is too loud. This is too loud. He's joking, he's like, but he was just like, wow, like, is this normal? Like, I need to get used to this because this is too much. But it's fun, especially when they you'll see how, it's Anna, Ross, Dania, and Judy, they get to work together more, and sometimes I get to work with them, and so every time I got to work with them, it was just a blast, and it's just, it's catching up and just chit-chatting in between scenes, and so it's just really, really fun.
Yeah, we do have to say that the chemistry within the cast is fantastic. We have become really good friends, and it's just a lot of, going to work, it's a lot of fun.
I use such an anecdote, and I hope you're okay with this, but I wasn't there. And Dania told me one time you guys had the scene at the park and a bird pooped on your hair. In the middle of the scene.
And I'm like, I fell, and they're like, you have shit all over you.
And I'm like, I wish I was there.
It's supposed to be good luck, right? I was like, it's good luck. I got a good check.
And I guess I could give you another small story. One time I had a 5 a.m. call time, and my alarm is my iPhone. And I don't know why, I went to bed so tired and I forgot to set my alarm. And when I go to bed, I put my phone in silent so that there's no vibration, there's no sounds, I don't hear anything. So 7:30 in the morning, I have a knock on my door, and it's one of the producers. And I'm freaking out. Yes, and I'm like, oh my God, I literally didn't wash my face, didn't brush my teeth, I was just dressed, and he's like, there's a van waiting for you outside. So I go outside, the driver takes me there, they do my hair, they do my makeup. That scene, that day, was with Judy Reyes and Susan Lucci, and luckily, the scene starts with them. I have one line, and then it's them again. So by the time I showed up to the set, I was still on time. Mark Jerry was there. And I was like, I'm so sorry. Oh my, everybody knew, they thought first, what if something happened to her? But then, it's like, okay, she was sleeping. So he said, why have you made it on time? It's a lesson that you learn. I was like, yes, I'm gonna go buy 10 alarm clocks. So I still made it on time, everything was fine, but I freaked out. So ever since then, I was just paranoid.
The reputation of a little diva because you showed up late.
It was horrible. I was like, horrible.
Prego.
Adriana Marmironi da Stampa. Mi scuso se mi sono decisa all'ultimo momento. Volevo sapere un pochino com'era il rapporto tra Eva Longoria e Mark Cherry sul set, e la Longoria che tipo di produttrice è, visto che poi è soprattutto eminentemente un'attrice.
Guys, I don't know. For me, talking about she's everything. That's the best way to describe Eva Longoria. Everything. It's just really
Wonder Woman.
Yeah, really powerful. Yeah, I just love her to death. I think she's such an inspiration, and as a producer, which I think it's what she's going to continue doing more and more. And now she has become very political, so I think you guys are going to see just the rise of a very important political figure within the United States. And she's amazing. You know, she's very. We were talking about it last night. We don't understand how she can do so many things at the same time. It's incredible. It's incredible, and we're blessed that she was able to get involved with DEVIOUS Maids. It gave it a lot of credibility. That was one of the main things when people started talking negative, and I kept saying, Eva has become such an important. She's like a pioneer within the Latino community. Everybody knows how proud she is of her heritage. That Eva will never put a stamp. Will never stamp her name into something that she doesn't think it's meaningful and it's important. She will never just do rubbish, you know. So it was almost like disrespectful to her and to Mark Cherry, the backlash, because it's like Eva has become so important for Latinos that she's never going to do something that is going to be demeaning. So we're very lucky to have her as part of the team.
And Ross has actually known Eva for a few years. They go way back. But I have gotten to know her since the show, and I have to say, the more I get to know her, the more I am so impressed, the more I respect, she invites us to, some of her charities, some of her events, and I'm like exhausted from going to a few, and I'm like, how does she even do everything? She's wonderful, she's such a sweet human being, she's so intelligent, she's so smart. I don't think people really know half of what she is. I think she's definitely going to probably surprise so many people, because even I feel like I'm just discovering more about her now, because we get to work with her as a producer. She's been amazing. She responded for the show. She defended the show and gave her name for the show.
When I don't know if you guys saw it here. I think it was Obama convention or whatever, when he's accepting the presidency or whatever, and then she was a guest invited, and she took the podium at the Washington, I don't know if you guys saw it, and she's just talking like she's a freaking Michelle Obama, right? And I remember that I put on the TV and I'm going, oh my God, and I knew she had a fear of speaking out, which you will never think, because she's so commanding. And so I said, let me see, and I'm with my husband, let's check it out, right? And I see this little tiny thing just growing and just talking with Oprah. I was like, wait, is that Oprah? I freaked out. I was like, it was like an X Factor moment, that I was like, are you kidding me? Like, Eva, are you kidding me? And then I was like, there you go. She is just going to be bigger, and it was just freaking bananas when I saw that. I was like, she's girl, are you Michelle Obama? It was really weird.
She's a powerful woman, and I think we're just lucky to have her.
Bene, dopo queste 5 ultime domande direi che possiamo chiudere la conferenza, ringraziando della loro gentilezza e disponibilità le nostre due ospiti, e ricordandovi appunto che la serie la potrete rivedere la prima puntata a partire dal 9 ottobre su Fox Life, e poi via tutti i mercoledì alle ore 21. Grazie.
Grazie. È un piacere stare qui.